So we are live. We are live. The first ever discussion on our new channel called The Quantum. My brother Zadikas, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited and so in awe. The life is just so full of magic and full of great experiences. Meeting a wonderful people is it's a bliss to be alive right now. It's so much going on, so much unseen is being pulled out from the what's been hidden for many years. At least for me, it was never accessible, or I haven't been able to access it. I never been so open to receive it as well. So it's very interesting life. It's very amazing. I'm excited. I'm high on life, brother.
Me too, man. Me too. I love it. Love it. I kind of want to go into the this came to be because this was actually um, your brainchild. So I kind of want to hear from
Wow, it's
you like what
breaking.
how did we get here, you know? Oh, and I think we've frozen.
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
frozen, it seems like. Now I'm back.
cut it just for a second. So I think you're back though. We're both in different parts of Mexico, everybody. So as you begin to tune in here and are noticing some of the choppiness and some of the sounds and stuff like that, we're making do as best we can until we get to more secluded spaces where we can really turn the heat up on this thing. But
Yeah.
so
Sorry,
so
I
you
am sitting in this vegan cafe in Troncones in a small village of Mexico, and that could be understandable. That reception here, it could be a little bit down sometimes. But let's see what we can squeeze out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to hear from your perspective, like how did we get here? Because
So yeah,
yeah,
how did we get here? So we got very simple here. I was sitting with you on a beach in Tulum just 3 weeks ago or something, and then I just came out of the event in Cancun with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and we bonded in that event, and we were spending time in Cancun bonding and sorry in Tulum, and you dropped such a massive bomb of wisdom and knowledge and perspective you had that blew my mind. It kind of, or like in the other words, it opened my mind to so much more possibilities and to see what's actually going on in the world. And the way you delivered all that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that bomb was for me very easy to digest, very easy to process, very easy to understand. And yeah, so pretty much you took me on a journey by the way you were sharing and exploring, or like yeah, what you had been explored in the world and the contacts you have.
well, we had a little bit more of a freeze. So oh, you're back.
Well, that
Say one more time so they can start. It again.
I didn't know where you have lost me.
Just you're talking about the context, and I guess taking you on a journey.
About
Yeah, how I was explaining things whenever we were first connected.
Wow, I hear you very poorly now.
Just in how I was explaining things when we first connected.
Wow, sorry, brother. Like it's breaking. Maybe too much energy.
It might be too much energy.
It might be too much energy.
So
So
let
I
me,
think that this distractions is expected definitely when we're gonna start opening more.
yeah. I'm just wondering. So as people are tuning in, can you let us know if the cutting out and that sort of thing is too much of a distraction? So we obviously want to be able to provide some value here, and if it's if between cutting out and the noise in the background, it's doing more harm than good, then maybe we need to wait on it. But,
So Lee,
okay.
maybe you can start with dropping some, you know, like because my reception is really up and down today. So let's pull some wisdom out of you. So tell us a little bit. Where are you now, and what are you experiencing? How do you processing? How do you see the world today? Like, what's going on?
Well, it's really interesting. I feel like there are literally two worlds right now. There is one in which people are in lockdown, in fear, in um, chaos. You know, wondering like, hey, like what is going on? Are we ever going to be free sovereign beings again? And the other one is, you know, is freedom. It is living in and embracing the unknown. Um, it's traveling and connecting with people and you know living life and it's such an interesting period of time that these things are happening simultaneously and you know it really feels like everything you know, kind of from the old world, the old systems, the Americas, maybe not. We don't have a-
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we'll do that. I think that's better. So yeah, it's like all the old structures are falling down, crumbling literally within and around us. And I feel like that you know that anything that has been hidden or anything that has been you know kind of programmed into us or a programmed way of living or beliefs or any of that stuff um, that all has to come to light in order for us to actually be able to heal it and I feel like that is that one world that is crumbling down around us and the I guess the people that aren't in fear, the people that are and communities, and trust me, there are communities all over the world now, and organizations that are like, wait a minute, you know, everything that was in this old world from these old perspectives, this old paradigm that's now crumbling, um, it's no longer serving us. And so, how do we create community? How do we create businesses? How do we create um, and regain our sovereignty? How do we create a societal model, if you will, that does work for the people. And you know, really that's been my personal journey for the last 7 years almost now, is traveling the world and connecting with organizations and communities and solutionaries, I like to call them, that do have you know, a new way forward, that do have a different perspective, and you know, that's obviously how you and I met after the Joe Dispenza conference. Excuse me, in a house with 15, 16 other people that, you know, that are working on businesses that have solutions, that are in other communities, whether it's with regard to reclaiming our sovereignty, or actually building community, like purchasing land and building communities that help to heal and connect people, free energy, fuel, waste. I mean, there's a lot of talk about crypto and you know, going in that direction. So I feel like the solutions are already here, and now it's just about really breaking down the silos and connecting to each other to be able to implement all the solutions that we already have. You know, instead of duplicating efforts and minimizing resources, I feel like now really is it's an opportunity to come together to move away from the old model of competition and into one of co-creating collaboration, you know, where we are able to maximize our efforts and our resources and our reach, and really minimize that duplication and competition and all these things. And I feel like when we do that more coherently, and you know, it's happening already, but when we do that really with intention and bring coherence to the different facets of, you know, in organizations and communities that have some of these solutions, then instead of everything looking and feeling like it's still separate, that oneness that is, it's who we are, that oneness at the quantum level, when we can bring that perspective, that feeling, that connection into all that we are and all that we do, and how we interact with each other, and how we build these, you know, new societal models, for lack of better terminology, that's when things are going to truly shift, and you know, we're really going to be able to implement these solutions that are already here.
And how do you feel about how ready we are as a human species here, like, and in general, maybe you can explore a little bit who we are, like, what is in your understanding, who are we, and what is our, like, how we should live here on this planet?
Mm-hmm. I'll throw that one right back to you after I answer, because I want to hear your answer too. Honestly, I feel like we are. I mean, we're limitless beings. We are spirits having a physical experience, right? And anybody who feels differently, I mean, you just have to look to some of the things that are happening around the world right now. From the we mentioned Joe Dispenza early on, like his retreats, people are healing themselves of chronic illnesses, getting up out of wheelchairs after maybe never having done so, and walking, right? Like we're at a time of magic. Like, magic is real. Miracles are real, right? And science proves it. Science proves that we're one. You know, Nassim Haramein of the Resonance Academy, he's written a number of papers, but the first in particular, called the Schwarzschild Proton, mathematically proves that we are one. That from the quantum to the cosmic, you know, everything aligns, and that every atom within each of us holds all of the information in the known universe. And we're, you know, with the sciences and the mysticism and things like breath work and just all these tools that are at our fingertips now, we're literally able to tip the veil beyond this dimension. We're able to see past the, you know, the physical eye can only pick up 1/1 billionth of the light spectrum that's here, and yet there are X-rays and ultraviolet rays and radio waves and, you know, all these different frequencies that are all around us that until now we didn't have the faculties, we didn't have the neurology, we didn't have the expanded perception necessary to be able to really tap into that. And yet with each passing day, our ability to tap into these frequencies expands exponentially, right? And we had a discussion yesterday with two other cosmic gentlemen, good friends of ours, that, you know, we're all ascended masters or we wouldn't be here. And we're literally unlocking each other, unlocking each other's greatness, our gifts, to be able to walk each other home. And where is home? Home is first resides within. And for me, it's, you know, there's talk about heaven and hell and you know, all these things. And for me, it's heaven is a place that can first, heaven or hell are places that first reside within, and then our reality, which is a mirror of how we're feeling within, will show up to show us, you know, for us to be able to experience. And so whatever you're cultivating within, and for those that are in fear, that are trapped, you know, kind of in the old paradigm of the world crumbling down around them, it's probably going to feel and look a little bit like hell. And for those of us that have said, you know what, I'm aware that those problems exist. I'm aware that old paradigm exists, and yet my focus is on the solution. My focus is on sovereignty and living and unlocking the greatest aspect, the true self of who I really am beyond all illusion. And all of this over here is just illusion. And so to be able to focus on the solution, to be able to focus on, you know, uncovering and unlocking the beauty and the gifts of who we truly are within, and using all these tools, from the breathwork to meditation to, you know, understanding the neuroscience to medicines, you know, again, all these tools are available to us to be able to really, and I look at them as solutions to be able to really activate and come back online of who we truly are, and you know, each individual that does that, each individual that comes to, for lack of better terminology, an awakening to all the power that we truly have, to the realization that at a fundamental level, at a quantum level, that we are truly all one, and that we can come together in that oneness to literally build a new earth, to build new societal models, to build new schools, to build new systems that are in service to the all. And you know, I feel like that at a fundamental level, that is who we are, and that is the transformation, that is the small r in brackets, capital E, evolution that we are going through.
So that sounds awesome. Like, that's a beautiful way of saying who we are and what do we do here. And since my connection is really poor, so I would like to stay on you and go deeper into, like, how do you, like, what world are you living right now? As, like, how do you experience, what universe do you, like, how to say, like, what does your day look like? How do you manifestations? What kind of magic what can you drop us a little bit pull us into where what is your life experience is right now. How do you use those all those tools? How do you play with energies? How do you all the magic?
I was just creating that. So, for me, it's I've heard lots of talk about and some friends of ours who are like, yeah, I'm supporting people right now that are, they're switching on, and it's like, people are being hit by lightning, and all of a sudden they're, again, for lack of better terminology, awake, but they're like, okay, so now what do I do with this new awakeness? Like, I've been used to thinking and feeling a certain way, and seeing, myself and how I fit into the world in this way, and now all of a sudden it's like I want to go in this direction. So there's support that is needed. But for me, I've been moving in this direction for a really long time, and really started to ask questions at an early age. So it's been the better part of 30 years, and to be able to have these type of conversations, to be able to talk about meditation and breath work and spirituality and some of these things. Even 10 years ago, it was still pretty taboo, but now I think with so many people kind of being shaken awake, and the whole thing that has happened over this last year, and I'm not going to say the word, or we'll get probably taken down from the different sites that we're on. But everybody
let's call it massive awakening.
Yeah. Okay. So the massive awakening that has been perpetrated by hiding our faces. Let's put it that way. It has been the perfect catalyst for more and more people every single day. The longer this goes on, I truly feel like more and more people are going to be like, whoa, wait a minute, like what's happening? Like, sorry, the numbers don't add up. Things are not adding up here. And so, and for me, that was like right from the get-go. It was like, oh my God, okay, like it's here. This grand awakening is here, and this is an opportunity to. And I love Einstein. I'm going to quote Einstein. We can't solve our problems with the same level of thinking that got us into them. And so, if the thing that is creating all of the fear and all of these lack of choice and destroying people's sovereignty in a lot of places, and free will and so on and so forth, if that is the problem or the level of thinking, then for me, there's to have an awareness that the problem exists, but then to focus on, okay, what are the solutions? How can I remain free? What kind of service can I provide? How can I educate? And it always starts first with myself. And so to be able to, have my morning routine, which is sacred, which starts with meditation and then goes into movement and then moves on to breath work and then healthy eating. Like these are very, very simple, very, very easy things that any individual can do to make sure that you're righting the ship within which you operate, within which your spirit operates, the temple, right? And so to be able to make sure that your cup is full, make sure that you're starting out and you're thinking the same thoughts and feeling optimal within your form, to be able to meditate and eat right and move and do breath work, or it's very simple, and anybody can do this. And so, you know, for me to be able to start each and every day like that, to make sure that, you know, I am focused on the solution. I'm not going to be duped into perceiving through my senses that the world is in chaos and it's going to end. Yeah, for some people it seems very real, and that seems like what is happening. And yet, for so many of us who are like, I refuse to live my life in fear. I refuse to live by the rules that others have chosen to implement against my free will. And so, traveling. Yeah, by all accounts, if you're watching mainstream media and news and that sort of thing, traveling is, oh my God, that's the worst thing you can do. And yet, planes are full. Planes are full all around the world. Like we're both in different parts of Mexico. I'm in Tulum right now. It's ramped. Like there's not a vacancy anywhere in Tulum. And so there's a huge section of the world that is like, okay, like I'm gonna live my life. I'm a free sovereign being with free will, and I choose to focus on the solutions each and every day. And I'm gonna travel, and I'm gonna take care of my body, and I'm gonna take care of my loved ones, and that's just, you know, really the tip of the iceberg, because there are solutions for fuel, for carbon emissions. There are solutions and communities being built all over the world. We've talked a number of times about, you know, inner city developments and purchasing land, and, you know, free energy devices, and I mean, all of that is here now, and the time is coming for us to be able to come together in such a way that we're actually able to really implement all of these strategies, all of these solutions, all of these things that we have that are here, but that, you know, by all accounts, for a mass portion of the population, there's no awareness of it. There's no realization of it. There's no, you know, because if you don't look outside of the mainstream narrative, you're not going to have any awareness that any of these things exist. And yet, from traveling the world, there are communities and organizations all over the planet that have these solutions, that are working on these solutions, that are working on implementation. And these communities only continue to grow and expand. And my vision for, you know, for as long as I can remember, is the coming together of these communities, of these solutions, right? To really, you know, as I said earlier, break down the silos so that it's no longer like, you know, individual communities separate, working on maybe sometimes the same solutions, but hey, like, you know, oh, you have a piece of what I'm doing, and I maybe have a piece of what you're doing. Oh, we're doing it from different perspectives. How do we actually combine those perspectives to really bolster, really come up with a impenetrable solution that works for the world, instead of it being my idea or my thing or, you know, my way? It's like, I have a very small piece, and I want to be able to share that piece with everyone else, and put all of the other pieces together so that we do this thing, so that we create this new world that works for everyone.
Yeah, wow, beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that. So it's very interesting the way you talked about your morning routines, for example, you not even talk that you are doing them. You talk that they just kind of happens and then it goes and then it flows. So it's kind of like, it sounds like you in this flow with life. You have some kind of structure, but then you kind of like flowing with it. And it's probably is a choice as everything else, to be in flow and to be in Mexico right now. So we chose here, right? And it's never been easier to meet like-minded people than it is right now, because pretty much everyone who is, for example, right here now in Mexico, not maybe everyone, but most of the people who are here, they are already open-minded. They already like, fuck it, I'm not gonna follow this shit. And I'm just like, I'm checking out. So people like massively leaving their countries at the moment, which is amazing. And as you say, like a lot of new communities are building. Where I would like to take us a little bit to upgrade more, if you have some knowledge update, I mean, I'd update more our community, because our intention is to make this recordings for our community, for the people who are already on the path, who are awakened, who touch the divine, who understands about quantum, who made love with divine, right, already, and have this magic going on in their world. So what I think is interesting, what is going on right now, if you can give us like some broader, or how deep you want, perspective on, let's say, if you have any numbers, how many communities in Mexico, if you have like whatever knowledge you have about the shift, where are we right now as a multidimensional beings, communities, like around the world, even we not maybe the same tribe, but we are connected on the same mindset, right? Where are we right now? Where are, like, what actions it's taken right now?
Well, so I feel like there are there's really a multitude of directions we could go with this, and so I'll tell you just so with the whole, I look at it as plugging into each other, right? And I really see, like, or you can look at it as pieces of a pie. And so whatever the solution is, whatever the community is, for me, that's a piece of this pie. You know, call it New Earth pie that we're building, or you know, transcendental humanity shift, whatever you want to call this pie. And with all of these organizations or communities, they have a piece of this pie, and it's their own flavor from their own perspective, and so for me to be able to plug all of these pieces in, or put all these pieces together so that it creates a larger pie, you know, that's really been the goal, the focus. And so just off of the top of my head, and I actually want to we've got Earthwalk, Empower and Thrive, 1111 Unify, Thrive On, Elevate Your Frequency, Dream with Dan, and these are like communities and or solutionaries and or coaches. We've got Thick Red Line, Lawyers for Truth, the World Freedom Alliance, New Earth, World Doctors Alliance, Freedom Airways, Global Blue Oceans, Stand on Guard for Thee, Liberty Coalition, Oasis, Constitutional Law Group, Connected Community, Cardano, Rethink Fit, The Line, Open Source Truth, Robert David Steele, Clear United, We're All Essential, Manifestation Media. Of course, there's the Dr. Joe Dispenza community. There's the Wim Hof community. There are amazing individuals like Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton. Sasha Stone he's actually from New Earth and Ubuntu. Another friend of mine, Josh Pazamore, he's creating the Golden City. It has Green Earth Vision. It's I could go on and 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 on. Like it really is endless, the amount of communities and individuals and solutions that are here now. We've got people working on the new internet, right? Or like the last social network, right? That's gonna put Facebook out of business. And these are all conscious solutions, and I have like these are just people that I'm aware of. It doesn't go into all of their connections and their affiliates, and I feel like this is this exponential solutionary time that we're in is, if we can just continue to talk to each other and meet on these things and really, figure out where all these pieces actually fit together. I mean, it's only a matter of time before. As I'm talking, I forgot mtvo.org, Activation Station, Void Space Technologies, you know what I mean? Like I could just continue to go on with the companies and tech and organizations and solutionaries. There's Conscious Evolution. I have friends that have podcasts, Matt Beller podcast, No BS podcast, right? And Gerard Adams, it's just, it really is awe-inspiring to realize the numbers that are mounting and the people that are turning on every single day. And for me, it's just about like, hey guys and girls, let's continue the conversation, because it's about team humanity now. It's no individual person, group, or organization is going to do this thing. It's a team game now, and the team is team humanity, and it really is about uniting and coming together so that we can collaborate and co-create a world that works for everyone.
Wow, great. Sounds like it's so much of the topics you touched, which we could explore in upcoming episodes, right? Because it seems like you just gave us the labels, but we didn't went into the depth, because I think it's also very interesting to hear what are those solutionists actually doing and bringing now to the world. To our question that popped up, where is that, because I assume it's like very spread and decentralized, all this movement, right? It's like there's no, where do you feel it's most dense in the world that happening, and where is in the world is the least that happening?
Well, I mean, I feel like city centers they're kind of maybe the high fear zones right now, and I know places like the UK are really like there's a lot of for lack of better terminology, tyranny happening in a lot of these places. Even Canada, where I'm from, is it's no longer a sovereign country in this period of time, right? So, places like Mexico, Costa Rica, Brazil, all of these places that I guess are a little more sovereign from rule, from governments. And it seems to be a lot of the southern, like the southern hemisphere that and the warm climates that people seem to be flocking to, because their restrictions and some of these crazy mandates that we're seeing more in the Western world are not being inflicted, or not being imposed upon people, and so these places where the vibration is very high, freedom is actually still a thing. Yeah, it really feels like people are flocking to these places, and as a result, we're talking about land in Brazil, and so could this be the kind of the new way where people are like, yeah, because that is the thing as a sovereign being, right? You still have a choice, right? And maybe it's not as easy for some as it is for others, but you still have a choice to, if you want, move from the country that you're in to a place where freedom is still a choice. And as I said, Mexico, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Brazil, a lot of these places, you still have freedom as a choice. You still have a sovereign choice as an individual. And so, maybe it's an opportunity for you to explore going somewhere else. And I think, as more and more people make these choices and explore a location, it's going to perhaps make some of the other locations think twice about whether or not they continue along this line of eroding our natural rights and freedoms. So I just kind of gave an overview of the rights and freedoms, and if people were going to, people still have the choice to be able to gravitate away from the city centers and places like that where our freedoms are being taken away, and to end up in places like this. And as more and more people do, then it may provide an opportunity for the people that are kind of imposing these restrictions in the Western world to think twice if people are flocking and leaving those countries.
Wow, my internet was completely down, so I missed the whole thing. I have to rewatch that one.
I just gave you a little synopsis.
Yeah. So Lee, I feel like maybe it's enough for today. Since I would like to be more engaged in conversation, so I will try to fix the internet for our next session, to be more sure we have a great connection. But to leave this, I would like to ask the community, the people who watch this video, and what do you feel like you would like to hear more? What is the questions? What keep you more excited to pursue your truth, to act on your truth? Like, what do you like? We can pull it out. We have a massive connections from all kind of human beings, or in Please ask us if you have any questions. That will keep us also motivated and aware of, yeah, what is required, what is in the need right now.
Yeah, and I'm just going to reiterate that because you were a little bit choppy. So I'm pretty sure you're just saying, kind of talking to the audience in terms of, we want to hear from all of you. What do you want to learn about? What do you want to hear about? Is it expanding health and consciousness? Is it reclaiming sovereignty, which emanates from natural law and learning about jurisdiction and victimless crimes? Do you want to learn where you can connect with community? Tools to expand your health, to optimize your health and expand your consciousness. You want to know about travel, places to travel, or whatever it is. The quantum we're going to be exploring, and we're going to be kind of breaking it down into news, like quantum news, as well as potential solutions and or just exploration, deep dives on with different people on different topics. But the aim, the intention really is to focus on where we're going, right? Maybe from time to time touch on where we are, but really stay focused on the solutions, on where we're going, on positivity, on these things, because there's not really a lot of that out there. And I think that is one of the things that you mentioned, Sadiq, is when we started talking about this idea is, there's enough reporting about all the shitty things happening. So let's stay focused on all the amazing things that are happening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lee. Amazing, good job by delivering your wisdom. I love it so much, and I'm looking forward to do it more of it.
More.
Okay.
Me too, my brother.
Sending you much love, and all the people who is gonna be watching or who have been watching. Much love to all of you.
Much love, brother. Can't wait to hear your take on it all.
I will.
I want you to drop your list here. All right, brother. Peace and love.